All right, here we go. Today is Wednesday, the 20th of November, and today I'm going to talk to you about patience, standards, and continuing to move forward. So one thing recently is one of my goals has been to hit full-time at my job as a trainer, and I've been making tremendous strides in that direction. I'm actually like 5 sessions away from hitting it. The goal is 20 per week, and I'm at around 15. I gained 2 or 3 new clients the past 2 or 3 weeks, and then I'm going to be gaining a couple more next month when my coworkers leave. A few of them are leaving, and so they're giving me a couple. And one thing my manager told me in our meeting today was, he said, you're overcomplicating things. You're gaining success. You have to just keep doing what you're doing. And that's one thing I've often is changed. And an analogy he gave me was, think of a mechanic who works in the same kind of cars, worked on 100 cars, and it works. Like, he's fixing the cars. And then all of a sudden one day he's like, I'm gonna try something different, and screws it up, right? So it's like, if it's not broke, don't fix it. So you got to keep doing, first identify the things that work, and then just keep doing those things. Don't try to get all complicated and nuanced with what works. And I've often been guilty of that in programming my workouts for some clients too. It's like, I try to do all this fancy shit, not understanding why the basics work. And you gotta just fucking learn the basics and just do that shit day after day. And so that's the kind of point I'm at right now with most of the things that I've struggled with, that I'm working towards, is just simplifying the process as much as possible. And also figuring out what works for you. Some people can lock in and do like 18-hour days. It's just not me. I am someone who's can be focused and locked in for a couple hours, and then I'll need a little breather, need a little break. Multi-passion individual. And so it's important for me to have a couple different things going, a couple different pots brewing to figure out my own recipe for success. And so that's what I encourage you to do too, is figure out your recipe for success. And that's going to require burning a lot of pots, fucking up, learn as you go. And that's the journey of an entrepreneur, is going towards a goal, Googling things, looking things up as you proceed towards that goal, failing a bunch, iterating as you go. And it's like Sisyphus rolling the ball up the mountain. Shit's heavy as fuck. You have to keep going and keep going. And over time, you're gonna get it over the hill, and things are gonna run a lot smoother. It's just taking that time. And one thing my manager said was, like, your standards are way too high. You're comparing yourself unfairly to trainers who've been doing this for 10, 15 years. Like, you're not gonna be an expert overnight. You're gonna become an expert over time. So there's no rushing the process. And I look back, I'm gonna be 30 in July. And I look back over the last like 10 years, man. And it's like, it's pretty wild. I graduated college 8 years ago and got a job working at GNC. Worked there for a year and a half. Then I got a job at a gym working there for like 2 years. Then I worked in construction. And then I worked, where else did I work? I worked in the Food Network. I did a bunch of film stuff. Worked at Amazon for 2.5 years, delivering, trying to find my way. And it doesn't make sense for me to look back and say I regret those actions I took, because it's turned me into the person I am now. And now I'm more informed about where I need to go moving forward. I would never have expected to be doing what I'm doing now, like being a personal trainer, though I've always kind of hovered in the fitness realm. Now I find myself supremely focused. Did a lot of AI filmmaking stuff. Grew up my YouTube channel to 13.5 thousand. Grew an Instagram page to 50,000. grew Facebook pages, email lists, podcast. I've done so much shit, dude. And now I feel like all those lessons are amalgamating, are culminating into that recipe for success for me, into what that looks like for me. And so I would encourage you to find what works for you. And Gary Vee always talks about like tasting things, experimenting. That's what it's all about, is like being willing to look like an idiot, because all the people who do great things have gone through a period where they look like complete idiots in order to get to where they are now. And so I'm going to continue to do that. I'm going to continue helping my clients, and then also with their consent, experimenting, being like, hey, let's try this, let's do this, and learning as I go. It's a beautiful experience. You come at it from a positive mindset, which I haven't always been responsible for. Sometimes I've fallen into the victim mentality. And even these videos, I like them, but sometimes I do bitch and complain, and that's not really helpful for anybody. You as a viewer, me as a creator. So it's important for us to take responsibility for where we're at and to bring our standards to a place where I think we should set delusional goals, but realistic standards. Because I have like really crazy goals, but the problem has been I've also set really crazy standards where it's like I haven't been content unless I hit this standard. It's like, well, you probably aren't, I'm talking to myself here, probably not going to get 10K off your first launch of your program. It's going to take a little while. You got to build it up. It's going to take some time. But once you get there, the reward will be so much better. So hopefully this has been helpful, and just kind of sharing my journey here. Going forward the next few weeks, I'm going to change up my content strategy. And so we'll see what that looks like, what form that takes. These videos, me just making videos is always really helpful for me as a part of the process, and hopefully helpful for you too. And yeah, I'll see you on the next one.